DBSCG things.
What's up, Yuhp gang? It's your boy Texan, and welcome back to Yuhp DBSCG things. And today we're bringing you another very exciting deck profile, guys. This is going to be the deck that I played at my last local. This is Gamma 1 and Gamma 2. But before we get into it, guys, I do want to say if you guys want any custom mats and or sleeves, absolutely check out Promats, guys. This is the best place to go get your custom card needs. Links in the description below, and also on the screen now you can see that they are holding a monthly tournament via Discord at the second weekend of every single month with some great prizing here. You can come win some Promat mats, TCG medal leaders, and also some booster boxes. So if this is something you're interested in, use the links in the description below to go to this Discord and join it. With that being said, guys, if you guys enjoyed this list or my content in general, remember to hit all those buttons for me, like, comment, subscribe, hit that bell so you never miss a video. And with that being said, guys, let's spin it around and dive in. Alrighty, you guys, here's the deck. Now let's go ahead and go over it. First things first, let's talk about the leader. Permanent. You can't use non-red ribbon army card skills to place cards into your energy. That's important to note because a lot of the blue-green Android stuff from the past you cannot use because they are not red ribbon army, so that is important to note. Auto, when you attack, you draw one card, and then Awakening ability is at 4 or less life, or if you have a blue unison with a specified cost of 2 in play, you can draw one card, untap one, and then take yourself down to 6 lives. You retain the same permanent on the backside of the leader, and then you have an auto. When a blue battle card is played from your energy, place the top card of your deck into your energy and rest mode, so that's good because you do get to play, replace the battle cards you're playing from your energy. And then one of the best parts, and if not the best part about this leader in general, auto, add 3 Android cards from your energy to your hand. That's the cost of the skill, so you must be at least at 3 energy and have them all be Androids to fulfill this effect. At the end of your turn, draw one card, add up to 3 blue Androids cards in your hand back to your energy, and then until the end of your opponent's next turn, you can't activate skills on non-Android cards with an energy cost of 7 or less in all areas. So really important to note that you have to have 3 Androids to activate that skill, so you won't get the draw unless you have 3 Androids. My favorite card in the entire deck, Android 14 and 15. This card is great because it sets up almost everything in the deck. Works kind of like Oceanus from the old Sin deck, so activate main, you'll discard this card from your hand, and then you'll peep the top 5 cards of your deck. You'll get to add 1 blue Android red ribbon, or 1 red ribbon card with an energy cost of 5 or less to your hand, or 1 Android 17 and 18 teaming up, my bad. So essentially that's just the specific unison that we play in the deck. And also the fact that it's putting itself in the drop area and it's a blue card is really important because then we get to use it right away off the auto of the unison that we play. So 4 of those. 4 copies of the Android 17 teaming up. This card is absolutely phenomenal. My teammate Junie was like telling me Hit was good in this deck for the longest, but the more and more I played the deck, and I just this Android 17 and 18 is a really good card. So auto, when a player attacks, add 1 marker to this card and then choose 1 mono blue card with 5,000 power in your drop area and combo with it. So that's important to note. Like I brought up, this card, you're going to discard it, top 5 search, and more than likely you're searching for this if you didn't mulligan into it. So, and then turn 2, you'll play it. You'll swing with either your leader or this, more than likely your leader, so that you can get your draw. So this is normally how your turn 2 will play out. You'll search with this, you'll find this, you'll tap 2 and play it, right? And then you'll swing with your leader, you'll get your leader draw, and then you'll get your auto here. You'll combo with this, make your leader a 15. For the second, it's going to be a 15. This will also gain a marker, go to 3, and then you'll awaken in the same process, get 1 energy back because you invested 1 into this, and then you'll take yourself to 6 and draw a card. And then now you're on the back side of your leader. And then now if you have some of the other cards in the deck, you can use 1 energy, or you leave that up for some defensive purposes. But anyways, this card's phenomenal because it's going to go up to 3 the moment you attack with your leader after playing it, and then the first attack with on your opponent's turn, it's going to go up immediately. And if you have defense to stop any bombing into this card more than likely will use this -4 the turn after it's played if your opponent is not properly dealing with this unison. So this card, very good, -4, very potent. Giving it 10k and dual attack for the turn is very good. It also has an effect, activate main. If your leader card is blue, you can play this card from your energy with 2 markers on it. You almost never use that effect. I couldn't tell you why, because maybe you normally just have the unison already set up and you're not on your backside when you're trying to play it on turn 2. So I don't know. You can tap 2 and play it from your energy if it ever gets removed. With that being said, on to the next card. 4 copies of the Android 14 Inorganic Horror. This card is solid. I would not play it at a 4 of any longer. I would probably drop this to a 3. This card is fantastic on like turn 2 or turn 3, depending if you went first or second. But I'm telling you, like, there's so many responses to Floodgates right now, especially at 15k one, especially with red being so prominent, that this card is way better at a 3 of. You're not going to want a bunch of these in hand if you're not going to be able to resolve them. So that's how I feel about that. But it almost never is too taxing to play the card, because like I said, your leader, you're untapping 3. This card costs 2. You'll still have an energy after it, so it's normally a pretty good investment. Next up, we're going to talk about the cards that we're actually going to be playing from the energy. I'll move these over here for a second. We're going 4 copies of 17, 3 copies of 18. This is a pretty prominent count. If you're doing any looking into Gamma 1 and 2, you'll normally see this number unless it's just a 4-4 straight up. But the barrier one's better just because it's barrier. This one's a crit, but they're essentially the same exact card. They both have an activate main. Pay 1 blue energy. If your leader card is a blue Android card, you can play it from your energy, and then that will trigger your leader auto, replace it, and then you get to use your auto. So once you trigger your leader auto after playing it, you'll ramp 1 in rest mode, and then you get to use this card's effect, because not all the time will you ramp into an Android. So you do want to make sure you have these autos live so that you can get rid of like your Sensu Beans or your negates or your Beerus cards, or yeah, you definitely don't want those in your energy so that you can use your untap ability. So that's essentially what these cards are for. One's a barrier, one's a critical. Next up, we have probably one of the most essential cards in the deck. The only reason I say this is because this is like the absolute only blue-green card that goes into your energy, and you cannot play your boss monster if you do not have a green in your energy. So first things first, 4 cost that plays from the energy for 2, so that's really good. 20k, dual attack deflect. Note that it has deflect, so that's really good because your leader skill, to get the ramp, you actually do have to play the card from your energy. So if you do get like window 1 down like one of these cards and it just goes straight to the drop or goes straight to the bottom deck instead of being played or something like that, you definitely don't get the ramp and you just lose an energy and tap down 1 for it. So you gotta be careful. Also, on turns that you want to play this, you want to make sure that you at least have one of these guys live behind it, because this does not have the effect to replace the energy. So that if you do play this and you ramp an off Android card, you want to be able to tap yourself down 1 more in order to replace that energy and try to find an Android card. But anyways, this card's great. Energy exhaust, yeah, it says no about that because our leader's red ribbon. So that's just how that's going to work. Comes into the energy active, and then if you want to play it for 2 energy from your energy, when this card is played, choose one of your opponent's battle cards with an energy cost equal to or greater than their current energy. That's actually really important because unlike most of the effects that actually are worded like that, greater than the energy, actually kind of suck after a few turns. But this is actually good because like it'll be good on turn 4 for 4 drops. It'll be good on turn 5 for 5 drops. It'll like and bigger than that. So it's like it's good for that type of situation. And then next up, of course, like I said, Cell. I play 3. I haven't like this isn't my finished build. You'll hear me throughout this deck profile saying number ratios need to be changed. Like I already said, this should definitely not be a 4 of. But anyways, I kind of like this at 3. It's not something you need all the time, and it's like pretty searchable. So anyways, once it's in your energy, which you can either hard charge it or use one of your Android effects to place it in your energy, or just have it in your hand and then use your leader effect at the end of turn, yada yada. So once it's in your energy, you can pay 4. One of them has to be green. So like I said, it's important to note you at least have to have one of these in your energy on the turn that you want to play this. Or one of the other cards, but more than likely you don't want to have your super combo or whatnot in your energy. Anyways, this card is a 30k 9-drop deflect dual attack. Important to note it has deflect because this card, it would really suck tap 4, it not come into play, and then you also not get their energy back, so that would suck. But anyways, it has deflect, so that's good. Good design there. When this card is played, you choose all of your opponent's battle cards, not ignoring barrier, and bottom deck them. That's also really good because you're not putting them in their hand, which blue is normally very, very prominent for. you're bottom decking them, and also in certain matchups like against Sin or something, you get to bottom deck the entire board, and then they can't like use their tap 6 and play them all from the drop. So that's actually really good as well. Auto once per turn. When this card is in battle, if your opponent activates a counter against it, your opponent has to choose one of their cards in their hand and bottom deck it. So that's also very, very good. Stays on theme with the deck. And then it's also double strike for the turn you play it. So you got a dual attack, double strike on the turn you play that board wipes, and forces your opponent to really debate on if they want to negate the attack or not, because they're not going to want to lose a card from hand. Next up, we have our super combo split. I do 318. One of the untap one. The reason I do the 318 and one of the untap one, and honestly, I'm going to be straight up, I'm probably going to make this a 2-2 split. The reason so is because this card's searchable, so that feels like absolutely amazing. Like when you're using this card on a turn that you don't need to search for this, because maybe you already have it in hand or in play already, and you just want to use this for the search, you can go grab your super combo with it, and that feels absolutely amazing. So I would definitely probably do like a 2-2 split on that. I like this card a lot, but at the same time I like Android 18 a lot, because you do get to force your opponent to a bottom deck one in a combo phase, which is actually really, really good. And then tagged along with one of our rival cards, which most Gamma players play. It's like getting rid of 2 cards in hand and putting like a revenge blocker on field. So that's really good. Another important thing to note is that these are Android cards. So if you're ever in a situation where you have like one of your charge targets in hand and you're about to pass turn, like you can play one of these guys, top 5 search, and like charge one of your straight up just charge one of your super combos, and then when your turn passes, you can pick it up and then charge back down like one of your other charge targets that come back into play. So like a lot of the times you can use these cards' effects as like quote unquote search and draws if you have the right charge targets to replace them with at the end of the turn. So that's important to note there. Next up, we have our counter plays. Play this at 4. Like straight up, you could cut this to 3 to play this at 4. You need to play this at 4. This card is great. Like at 3, I've seen it as I've seen it all the time, even at 3. But like every single time I've seen this card, I wanted to use it on like the very first card played. Like I was using this card to counter cards that it wouldn't even mess with, literally just to play this card and have a blocker. Like that's literally, you have the energy to do it. 15k blocker if your opponent's playing a battle card that you can't really like mess with. That's actually really, really good. But most of the time it's actually really good anyways, because 4 or less is really prominent this format. Really prominent. Like U7, this stops like almost all of U7's plays until like turn 4. Same thing with like GT Goku. Like if you window 1 their pan play with this, like they just tapped 2 just to like bottom deck some cards. Like it just feels bad. And it comes, yeah, it just feels bad. Next up, Android 16 Steadfast Comeback. My personal opinion, you can play this at 2. I played it at 3. It's great at 3. I played this card a lot, honestly, in the games that I did play. This card is phenomenal, and like I said, tagged up with Bionic Blitz, it just feels really, really good to make your opponent discard 2 and then play a revenge blocker that they're going to have to work around. And plus, it's a dual attack, so on your turn, it's actually 20k pressure as well, so that's huge. But like I said, you can play this at a 2. I don't think it needs to be at 3. Like it is searchable. Like, and if you ramp it, you can pick it up with your leader and whatnot and place down something else. So I think that can go down to a 2. And reasoning for that is because I'm not playing cards that I think this deck needs to be playing. Next up, 2 Chilled Army Reinforcement. This card kind of speaks for itself. Almost every single deck plays some copies of this card, no matter what color it is. Like black plays 2 copies of this, blue is playing copies of it. Like every color plays their copies of it. There's no reason not to. It sets up your super combos. Not this deck specifically, but like it does a lot for like a lot of decks in the game. So next up we have 3 Realm of the Gods Beerus Destroys. This card's phenomenal. I like it at 3, but there's been situations where I've wanted it in hand and already have used them and just haven't seen the last copy or so. So like I would consider putting this at 4, but I'm running a flat 50 card list, so that's another thing too. I might bump my numbers up to like 52, maybe. We'll see. Next up we got 3 Bean. I don't even know what to say about this card in this deck. Like it feels good, like again, especially against like a lot of the meta right now, because a lot of the meta is playing like a lot of like green coolers, like a lot of 15k beat down, like red GT. You can stop a lot of red GT's attack with one bean. So in my opinion, like bean in this deck is not really for the untap. It's more so just for the 5k for the turn. It can be for the untap if you're doing, you know, a rival plays, or if you're trying to untap some energy to do another one of those or something. I don't know. 4 copies of Draw Monkey. This can be like almost a 2 of. Like this isn't going to be something you're resolving all the time. I'm going to be straight up. This is not going to be something you're doing all the time. You'll be using turns, doing other things. This could be a 3 or 2 of. If you need space in the deck for other things, I could definitely see cutting this down a little bit. And then my overarm of choice, Scientist Fu. 1 energy is no problem in this deck. I'll say it 100 times. This deck untaps 3 every single turn. So 1 energy to draw 2 and provide a 25k double strike. That's amazing. So that's that card. And then our secret rare of choice is Baby Hatchiyak. The card speaks for itself. Not going to go into that. But I am going to go into the fact that this deck needs to, and I'm not saying sideboard or nothing, needs to play at least 2 copies of the Boo Unison, because this card will die the turn after you use the -4. Like, more than likely this card will die. If your opponent's smart enough, they will kill this card after you use the -4, because it will go down to like 1 or 2 markers on that turn, and they'll take advantage of it being on low markers. So once this guy's gone, it's great to like literally just tap out for Boo and then just get all 4 of your energy back next turn. So I would definitely be playing 2 more Boos, 1 more of this. I definitely would consider 1 more of this. I have a lot of ideas. This is just what I was playing last week at my locals, and I decided I'd get the profile out there for you guys to get some inspiration. But I'd also give, you know, my ideas on what I felt the deck was lacking when I was playing it. This can go down. You don't need this at 4 unless your like local scene is just not playing responses, which they should be. For this, like literally just drop this to 3, put this to 4, drop this down to 2, put a Boo Unison there. I feel like this should be at 4. And like I said, this, like maybe cut one of these for a Boo Unison as well, and then maybe put 1 more out for 1 more Realm of Gods and just run 2 of it. But yeah, that's kind of where I'm at with this. Self-out fine at 3. Yeah, that's kind of my input. Tell me what your guys' input is. Let me know how you guys felt about this deck profile. If you guys enjoyed it, remember, hit all those buttons for me, like, comment, subscribe, hit that bell so you never miss a video. And with that being said, guys, we will see you guys next time.